All right, welcome into another edition of Sports Spotlight. I'm Sports Director Alex Eisman. As always, joined by my buddy, reporter DeShawn Johnson. We got a special guest today and worthy of congratulations as well on the new head coaching gig at Swartz Creek High School. Let's welcome in Coach Dajuan Massey. Thank you so much for coming in and talking with us today.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
And so the first thing I want to ask, obviously, is just how did this opportunity kind of come about for you, and what made it so appealing to become the next Dragons head coach?
It actually came about from one of my assistants. I really wasn't sure if I was going to coach next year or going forward. I was up and down with the situation. And then one of my assistants, who I've been with for 15 years, he said, "Hey, man, the only way we can come back and do it fully as if we had a program like Swartz Creek." And he literally said that like a month and some days before the job was posted. But I was still mulling over my decision of returning to Carmen. But I was more so on the side of not coaching. So the job came open. I applied, and the rest is history.
Sorry, you go, DeShawn.
Coach, hearing you, talking about, just pondering, on the decision whether, any major factors that kind of boosted you into thinking, I'll take another shot at it, maybe this time over at Swartz Creek.
Yeah, the biggest thing was, man, they have a youth program. They had 424 kids in the youth program, something you can continuously build with. And that's exciting. That's something you want to have in a program. Unfortunately, at my time at Carmen, we struggled to get a youth program, and that was huge. We didn't have the numbers over there to get one. We were trying to get one. We were in the making to get one, but then things failed. But I always say, man, you live and you coach with no regrets. I had some wonderful years over at Carmen, and I still work there right now. So it's nothing but awesome and some great memories and love over there. But it was time for me to either step away or figure out my next move, and luckily. Can you hear me?
And I'm curious, what did you learn about yourself as a coach in your time at Carmen that you can, now apply to this next job at Swartz Creek?
I can't hear you.
Oh.
I can hear you now.
Having some mic trouble. Can you hear me? Anything?
Yeah.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, awesome. So, I was just going to ask, what did you kind of learn about yourself as a coach these last few years at Carmen that you can now apply, moving forward and into this next role at Swartz Creek?
Leadership, responsibility, being accountable. As you get older, you get wiser. So that's the biggest thing I can take over there is my leadership, being wiser. I'm 18 years in coaching now. I started coaching at the age of 20. So I have a lot of years under me. I'm still young, but I think just being a leader. I've always said since I was a young kid that I was a leader, and I think that's my biggest trait that I can bring over there. They already got things in place. They already had a program in place. My job is just to go over there and help elevate it and see can we take it to another level.
Coach, you kind of mentioned, obviously, you're just right there talking about, they have, already things set in place. And you mentioned that, the amount of time that you've been doing this, what is, once you're able, to kind of make the transition over to Swartz Creek, what are the first steps that you're looking to take, how do you get, positioned into this new role as, a brand new head coach over there?
Well, we had our first team meeting yesterday, and that was great. We had the gym full. Kids were excited. The community is excited, and that's that's what you call awesome. Like, I didn't have so much support from the community already, and it's only been 2 weeks in this thing. So we had our first team meeting. We'll start moving here forward. They already been in the weight room working out, so we'll start here moving forward with doing some classroom installs, trying to instill our stuff, and then as we work our way to June, we'll progress more from there.
And building off of that, what was your initial message to the players on the team and the parents and the community, I guess, as a whole as well?
The message is, man, we're gonna do everything with intent. Everything we do is gonna be intentional. We got to work in order to succeed. You got to work. That work is not gonna come easy, but if you work and you set goals high, then you got something to look forward to go achieve. And that's our goal, man. Our goal is to come in here and build this thing and build what Coach Spencer left, and he left something good. So we're going to come here and be intentional in what we do in the classroom, on the field, in the community. That's going to be big, but we're going to build this thing up and be intentional. And then on Friday nights, we're going to want to play physical and play fast and have some fun.
Coach, obviously, we're not in football season right now. We're in the midst of, obviously basketball season. A lot of the guys, all around, at different high schools, a lot of them that are playing football, some of them might dabble in basketball and other sports. Have you been able to see any of them, have you been to any of the basketball games at all? Kind of got to see, what the fan base is like, anything like that?
No, I plan on going out to the basketball game Friday. But I have been in the weight room a few days with the kids and seeing their energy and seeing how they work. Which is also good. So in the next few weeks, I'll be over there more and getting things more in place. But I'm excited, man. I feel rejuvenated. There's a lot of excitement going around, especially with the community. They're excited, and that makes me excited to go in here and ready to work.
Well, it sounds like you've at least kept some tabs kind of from afar this past year on the football team. What kind of characteristics have you seen out of them that you're looking forward to kind of helping nourish and showcase on the big stage, I guess? Nope. Nope. Might have lost him there for a sec, but I'll tell you what, it's pretty.
Hello?
Oh, there we go. So, can you hear me?
1 second, hold on. I can't hear.
No worries.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me okay?
You can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Awesome. Perfect.
Yeah, man. We've scrimmaged those guys for the last 3 years. We've been to 7-on-7s with those guys the last 3 years. So you see some things. They bring some physicality. Also, coming from a straight T offense to what we want to do is perfect. So they'll possess some things already that we want to incorporate, and we're just trying to look on to it and build and add to those things and spread those guys out and let them have some fun.
Coach, one of the things you talked about, kind of being a little bit more difficult over at Carmen, is just, you mentioned the numbers, obviously, you still, being able to build with that program, even with dealing with some of the shorter numbers that you have. What are you able to take, from that experience, having to, work with these guys and make them work extra harder and whatnot because of the numbers? And now that you do, how are you able to, what are you able to take from that and kind of already be ready to go as far as, we got the numbers, I'm able to teach these guys this instead?
Numbers is always good, especially in the game of football. You're able to do things in practice, and you're able to not play kids both ways. So hopefully we can play some guys one way, and obviously we'll have some guys who go two ways. But it's always good where you can rest some guys here and there, and not play guys two ways. that's the biggest thing when it comes to numbers. And also, man, you have injuries. That a factor in it. So that's the biggest thing that we're hoping to bring is get more kids out, which I think we did. We had a good number yesterday in the dome. I had a lot of kids who signed up and came to the meeting. So we're really looking forward to that.
Coach, I got one more question for you. And, aside from the high school football, obviously a pretty big week for the sport in general. Just kind of wondering your assessment of the game on Sunday. What impressed you about the Eagles? What surprised you about the Chiefs? Your biggest takeaways?
The Eagles defense, their ability with their front four to get pressure and stop the run and contain Patrick Mahomes. That's where games is won at, man, in the trenches. And it showed their front four really got after Mahomes really good to contain their offense. I don't think I've never seen Mahomes be contained like that. So that was my biggest takeaway, especially with the Andy Reid-led offense. The Eagles front four really got after it. I hope a lot of young guys watch that game and seeing how a front four can dictate a game. And in the trenches, that's where games is won and lost. Is in the trenches. So that was the biggest thing. If you can win that, then you'll be successful in football.
Coach, this would be my last one for you as well, kind of going off that, like your biggest takeaway there is, obviously, the big thing you heard, after the Super Bowl was that defense wins championships. And you mentioned it right there. How important of that is a mindset, for, sometimes, and in the younger levels at high school, obviously guys want to be receivers. They want to be, go get big chunk yards. But how important is it for you to instill that mindset into them? That defense is super important in this game.
Oh, no, defense is the biggest thing to me. Defense win championships, offense win ball games. I've always said that. I think everybody I've been around almost said that. And it's evident. Defense and special teams win championships, offense win ball games. And so even going into this new year with Swartz Creek, I think our defense will be ahead of our offense just because we're switching up a lot on offense. So our defense at times will have to hold us up. But we'll come along on the offensive side. But then that's what we've been preaching already. Is our defense is going to hold us up, and hopefully our offense follow behind.
Awesome. Well, thank you again so much for taking a few minutes for us today. Congratulations on the new job, and
Absolutely.
Looking forward to seeing you guys out there on Fridays this fall.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you. Go Dragons.